Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Lisa Blaisdell. I am with the Juice Plus Company. I'm so excited to be here with several health warriors tonight. And we are going to be sharing with you guys some really, really powerful education and information that changed all of our lives, many of our lives that are here on this webinar tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share our screen so that you can see the information. This is what's so cool about this technology that we can learn from the comforts of our own home. All right, can you guys see that? Joni, can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, awesome. So again, my name is Lisa Blaisdell. I want to welcome you guys tonight, and I'm going to share a little bit about my story and how this became really my passion and my mission as we get into this. But tonight we're going to just talk about simple changes. And the first thing that I really want to always reflect on is that healthy living used to be really simple, right? I mean, there was certainly not the lifestyle that we have today. There certainly weren't the options and the choices and so many things that really get in the way of us being healthy. And I know when I was a little girl, my parents used to kick me out of the house. I used to drink from the water hose. We would play all day long. I don't even remember what we ate for lunch. It's probably out of my parents' garden in the backyard. And we came home and we fell asleep. Well, unfortunately, that is not the lifestyle that our kids are experiencing today, as I know you guys are probably all aware, because it's all over the news. It's been really well documented in the media, of which I'm grateful for, because awareness is where it all begins. But unfortunately, families are very fast paced. Kids are growing up in a very high stress environment. Parents are doing the best they can to get through the day. Most parents are two working parents, and we're tired. So kids are not eating right. They're going through the fast food. They're drinking soft drinks. And us mom and dad, we're not sleeping enough. So this is definitely becoming an issue in this country. So the first question that I like to ask people are, how are you taking care of you? Are you eating real food? Are you shopping in the perimeter of your grocery store? Where the produce is, where the meats are, where the fresh food is. I always encourage people to stay out of the middle of that aisle, and I'm actually going to address why in just a minute. Exercise. We all used to have to move for our food, and now we drive through and get our food, don't we? So exercise is so important, you guys. And what I always encourage people to do is find what you love to do. If it's walking in nature, if it's participating in a group exercise class, whether it's yoga, walking, swimming, you'll do the exercise that you enjoy doing. And I know for me, if I have an accountability component built in, whether it's meeting a friend or showing up at a group class, I often will text my friends and say, are you going? Will you set me up so that I know I can't skip? And sooner or later, it's going to become a habit. And for me, exercise is a habit. It's really difficult for me to start my day without getting in my workouts first. And it wasn't always the case. So if you're still struggling to make that a habit, I just encourage you to find something that you love. Drinking water. Now, we should be drinking somewhere around 80 ounces of water a day, because we are being dehydrated every day, especially from, processed foods, from drinks like coffee, alcohol. And most of us are in a low state of dehydration all the time. People who suffer from headaches, even kids are coming home from school, they're dehydrated because they're not drinking enough water throughout the school day. If you're hungry and you just ate lunch an hour or two ago, most likely you're not hungry, you're really just thirsty. So really trying to get into that great healthy habit of drinking more water is so important. And I have my water bottle here, and I actually just heard a tip today that I'll pass on to you guys. Set up multiple water bottles if you can, if you've got lots of them in your house, the way that I do, and set them up on the counter and make sure that you drink all of them throughout the day. And then you'll know how many ounces of water you really did drink. I'm actually going to start doing that. Not that I have a water consumption problem, but I think it's a great way to track. Tracking is everything. And then sleeping. Are you sleeping 7 to 8 hours every single night? That's the other thing in this country, in the United States. We're almost like proud of the fact that we don't have to sleep a lot. I love people when they're like, oh, I go to bed at midnight. I just need to get more done. And then I get up at 5 or 6. You know what? That's not enough sleep. We need to be sleeping 7 to 8 hours every single night. And many, many diseases are linked over time to the stress, the oxidative stress process because of lack of sleep. So, napping is a good thing if you need to nap, going to bed early, really taking care of yourself in this way. I know I could not function if I did not sleep. So it's really, really important. Okay, so now there's two startling trends in our world that I'm going to take you guys through. And this is always what I call the bad news. This is the bad news part of this talk. But I think it's really important that we're aware that we have a lot of environmental toxins in our world right now, and that is only increasing. And I'm sure that this is no surprise to many of you. From the air pollution as a result of, so much manufacturing going on in our country, to commercial and animal fertilizer that is in the soil that is growing our food, to, lots of car pollution, urban runoffs. It's everywhere, you guys. It's in our oceans. It's everywhere. So this is something that none of us can avoid. And I've even heard many statistics that new babies, they are finding toxins in the umbilical cord between the mom and the baby. So babies are being born into this world with toxins, not because the mom did anything wrong to that baby, but just because she's living and eating and breathing in this world. And the second important trend that is really a fact now is that our food quality is decreasing. And every single day, even as educated as we all are and doing our best to make the best choices, there are a lot of things in our foods that are unbeknownst to us, everything from GMOs to growth hormones, pesticides, herbicides, preservatives, all kinds of artificial flavors. And that's why I always really encourage people to stay out of the middle of the aisle, because that's where you're going to find most of those things. I know that's where all the yummy treats are, the crackers and the chips and the cookies, but that's also where you're going to find the least nutritiously dense food. Okay, so the interesting thing that I have loved learning in my journey around health and its relationship to nutrition is this whole process called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is the process of burning food for fuel that we do every single day. From the moment that we are born, we are undergoing oxidative stress. We are aging, we are burning food for fuel, and that byproduct that damages our cells, that leads to the wrinkles, the gray hairs, the breakdowns in our body is all a result of oxidative stress. And in each human cell, the DNA, so our DNA is being hit about 10,000 times a day by mutanic oxidants. And that's from Dr. Bruce Ames, who's with the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences Center. And when people don't understand what oxidative stress is, I just ask them to look at this photo, of an aging woman. And if you have smokers in your life, you know that they are smokers because they have much more wrinkles in their face, and especially around like their mouth area. And that is oxidative stress. An apple, this apple down below, if you cut it open, if it just hangs out there for a while, the air turns it brown, and that is oxidative stress. But I don't know about you, if any of you guys have ever squeezed a lemon on an apple, which I have, so that my kids will still eat it an hour or two later, is it prevents it from turning brown, or at least it slows the process. And in that lemon are these beautiful defense mechanisms called antioxidants. Antioxidants is the best defense against the oxidative stress process, and the only food that oxidants are contained in are fruits and vegetables. They are your number one best defense against this process of aging and disease and premature death. This cover of Time magazine was back in 2003, and I remember it so well. It was when I was beginning my journey in getting really passionate about this education that I was learning about, getting really passionate about my experience with the solution that I'm going to talk about in a minute. And this really blew me away. This was on the cover of Time magazine, and it said, "The news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you, they could save your life." And I could be on this Zoom call with you guys all night telling you story after story of how I know people have resolved health challenges and yes, have had a better quality of life and a different outcome of what their doctors told them was their prognosis because they flooded their body with fruits and vegetables. I know that this is true. So why is this true? Because of phytonutrients that are in the plants that we need to be eating every single day. So this is another slide I really love to talk about because vitamins and multivitamins are a very big deal, and they are very much, were created out of a need to bridge the gap out of what we're not eating and what we should be eating. And no one had any bad intentions in mind when they were coming up with the idea of multivitamins. But if you really think about it and break it down, this amazing apple and these little ingredients on the side of your screen that you will definitely not be able to read, this represents 400 of the 12 to 20,000 phytonutrients and plant chemicals that are contained in one apple, just one apple alone, compared to a couple of different, maybe 12, even as high as 20, megadosed vitamins that were man-made and man-manufactured that probably came from a source like an apple or a piece of spinach or kale. But the whole idea is, you guys, is that it's really, really difficult to take a vitamin, put it in your body, and know that your body needs those specific vitamins on that certain day. We really don't know what our bodies need every single day. But when we flood it with whole foods, when we flood it with the produce that God grew, that Mother Nature so brilliantly developed, it knows exactly what to do in our bodies. And that's why the synergy of all these different phytonutrients and plant chemicals working together really is the idea that makes the most sense. It makes the most sense to me anyway. And the research now really proves that that makes sense because there are several studies, many studies that prove that megadose fragmented vitamins actually cause more harm in people's bodies than good. So we need to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Did you know that today's mass-produced produce packs a way less nutritional punch than it ever has before? We need 7 to 13 servings of raw, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables every single day to really even do a dent in this oxidative stress process that's happening in our bodies. But over time, the produce that we are eating is not the produce that what we grew up with, what our parents grew up with, and certainly not what our grandparents grew up with. Some varieties of produce have lost 40% of their nutritional content. And if you think about the mass production that produce has to go through now in order to keep all of the produce on the shelf at all times to keep up with how many people there are to feed, it just makes sense that there is not enough nutrition in the produce that we're eating. And therefore, we need to eat a lot more. So that is why I am grateful that my family found a really, really simple solution 17 years ago that changed the course of my family's life forever. It's called Juice Plus, and it is the nutritional essence of 30 different whole foods, fruits, veggies, berries, and a couple of gluten-free, they're not even grains, it's rice, that was crushed at a very cold temperature, dehydrated, so taking out all the water and the sugars, and essentially put into a little capsule form and a really delicious chewable for kids or big kids that don't like to chew their chewables. And I am just blown away that every single day my family gets the nutrition in our bodies, in our cells, from everything from spinach to raspberries to beets to cranberries, which I never will eat and never do eat, even on Thanksgiving, bilberries, artichokes, the variety and the synergy of all these different fruits and vegetables working together in my body makes me feel so good, especially as a mom. So this is my family. I have raised these kids on Juice Plus. They're now 20 and 17. I heard about Juice Plus when I was a very unwell young mom. And like I said, it was 17 years ago. We had antibiotics in our house every single month. Either I was sick or my daughters were sick. By the time my oldest was 3 years old, she had had pneumonia twice. She was headed down the road of asthma. And we were constantly in the pediatrician, and I knew that there had to be a better way. I knew that in my 30s, I had to feel better than what I was feeling. So when I heard about Juice Plus, it made total sense to me. I was not feeding my family all those fruits and vegetables every day. We started taking it, and I started noticing over time, not overnight, that I started having more energy. I felt better when I woke up in the morning. I actually slept better at night, which I thought was really interesting. My hair and my nails started growing faster and stronger. My skin cleared up, and my kids stopped getting sick all the time. We didn't have to go to the pediatrician every month. Their colds no longer turned into secondary infections. I stopped getting chronic sinus infections. And fast forward 17 years later, we are a healthy family. I'm in the best shape of my life. I just turned 50, and I can honestly say I feel better today than I did when I was in my early 30s when I learned about Juice Plus. And I will take Juice Plus forever because I want to do everything that I can to prevent disease, to keep my friends well. And that is also why I started sharing Juice Plus, because I truly want to help people with their health, and I want to pass forward this mission. And I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. So we also have the delicious Juice Plus Complete Shakes. These are low glycemic. They actually have the glycemic index of a cup of broccoli. So, having that stable blood sugar throughout your morning is so important. It has a wonderful blend of protein and carbohydrates and fiber to keep you feeling really full. It is absolutely delicious. As it says here, it's vegan and non-GMO. It is gluten and dairy free. It is 100% plant-based, and it has incredible prebiotic and oscillogrades, which I will never be able to say that word, which I can tell you are very good and very healthy and very necessary. We drink Complete every single day in my house. My high schooler drinks one as she's on the go, getting her breakfast early in the morning, way before a teenager wants to eat. And I feel so good knowing that she's having this foundation of good health as she starts her busy day. I use mine as a post-workout drink, and so does my husband. It's so easy to digest. And like I said, it's absolutely delicious. So when you add in the Complete, you're now flooding your body with 45 superfoods that just are absolutely amazing. And again, I have so much gratitude that it's so easy for my family to get this much nutrition into us every single day, because I know how important it is. But we're just like every other family. We're busy, we're on the go, we're not perfect. And that's why the Juice Plus products are just such an easy solution for us. So the reason why Juice Plus is so unique, there's a few reasons why, because there are a lot of things on the market, and I understand, and I'm so grateful that I understand this now because I didn't before. So there are 45 whole foods. And actually, if you look at the bottles of Juice Plus, which I should grab here, it actually says nutrition label on the back. It does not get taxed where I live in the state of California because it's indeed food. And it has a nutrition fact on it versus a supplement fact. And that's a really big deal because any supplement that you buy has a supplement fact. But food is, but Juice Plus is food. It's non-GMO. Like I said, it's dairy and gluten-free. It is NSF certified, which is the highest level of safety that any consumable product can receive. And this is the big deal, is that we have over 38 published clinical peer-reviewed medical journals proving that Juice Plus gets into your blood and it does the body good. I always like to say that you are known by the company that you keep. We are undisputably the most researched nutritional product in the world, and none of these institutions and medical journals would have anything to do with the product and risk their reputations if it wasn't of the high caliber that Juice Plus is. In fact, we're in a position now where we get phone calls from institution and medical centers, at least 3 to 6 calls a month, asking for Juice Plus to be tested in their labs because they have seen over the 25 years that Juice Plus has been on the market, the results that they are getting in their patient base. And some of these researchers and scientists cannot wait to get their hands on research on Juice Plus to do their own research. So what do these 38 studies prove? Well, first and foremost, and most importantly, it proves that Juice Plus gets into your blood. We have, I think we're up to 8 bioavailability studies that prove that it gets into our bloodstream, it gets into our cells, and it goes to work. And that's so important because a lot of people take things every single day and we really have no proof that it's getting into our cells. Maybe we're just peeing it out. I don't know. But with Juice Plus, you know it's getting into your cells. And from there, it goes on to improve cardiovascular wellness. And I always tell people heart disease is the number one killer of men and women, especially with women. We have very different symptoms and signs. Heart disease kills more women than cancer. And I love that Juice Plus prevents and protects our heart health and our cardiovascular wellness. It supports a healthy immune system. And for my family at the time, that meant less colds and flus. But this means a healthy immune system, which is able to fight off everything from cancers to autoimmune disorders, which are now rampant in our society. Having a strong, balanced immune system is absolutely everything. And over on the right, my favorite studies are those that prove that Juice Plus reduces oxidative stress. Thinking back to that first slide where I talked about oxidative stress is everything. That's what's happening to us every single day. So knowing that we're having a positive effect by taking Juice Plus to reduce and slow down that oxidative stress process, that basically means that we are slowing down the aging and the disease acceleration, which makes me feel so good. We have 3 studies that prove that Juice Plus reduces systemic inflammation. All roads right now lead to inflammation. They are finding more and more ties to disease that all started with an inflammatory process, whether it's, inflammation of organs or inflammation of our joints. Inflammation is not good. We want to live in a body that's as least inflamed as possible, protecting our DNA. And like I always say to my friends, if you don't care about what's going on the inside, we all care about what's going on in the outside. Healthier skin, healthier gums, it improves our dental health. And we have so much more research underway. And I'd love to share the research with everyone who wants to learn. And the person who invited you to this call can share our research on our juiceplus.com website. It's absolutely fascinating. It really is. And I was never a research person, but now I love it. My favorite study of all is our family study. And that is where kids can get Juice Plus, the Orchard and the Garden blend, so the fruit and the veggie, at no cost to the parent for up to 4 years when a parent enrolls in the study and orders their own supply of Juice Plus. I absolutely love this program. We've given away almost $1 million, or over $1 million, to almost 1 million kids in its 15-year history. This is the largest nutritional observational study on a body of children in the world. Like I said, we have over 1 million kids in the study. And over time, we have surveyed all of these hundreds of thousands of kids and their parents. And we have found that these kids are taking fewer over-the-counter prescription medication. They are missing fewer days of school, which means parents miss less days of work. They're eating more fruits and vegetables. They're going to the doctor less. They're drinking more water, which is awesome. They're consuming less fast food and soft drinks, which is awesome. And my favorites are that they are more aware of their health. 90% of these kids are more aware of their health, and 96% of the kids are reaping a positive benefit of some kind. I just think it's phenomenal. I love this study. I'm so proud of it. And what's really cool is that the kids need to be at least 3 or 4, but you can enroll a young adult as long as they are in college. And I love this because now I have a college-age student and I have one going off to college in 1.5 years. And I know that that's when kids really lose all of their good eating habits. And it's when they're in an environment, they're not at home anymore. They're staying up way too late. They're taking advantage of all that food in the cafeteria that is probably not the food they grew up eating. So I love Juice Plus because there's a lot going on for these kids at this stage in their life. And I just think it's such a support tool for them. So I love our health study. Our Omega blend is our newest solution, and this is a wonderful formula of omega fatty acids that are all plant-based. So it is a natural blend of plant-based omegas. It's the 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. It's the full spectrum. It is brand new. Studies are underway. I am absolutely obsessed with our omegas. I cannot believe the difference that I noticed when I started taking them earlier this year, and it was only to be supportive of our company and them launching this product. But it's really, really cool because we've cut out the middleman, i.e. the fish. And so I know a lot of people really don't like to take fish omegas because of how they taste, the aftertaste, and also because of the possibilities of mercury. So I love our omegas. Our Shred 10 program, I'm not going to get into too much, but this is a really wonderful way to be able to shred the toxins that are building up in our bodies, have an incredible experience where we jumpstart our health by adding in the Juice Plus capsules and the Complete, and asking us to give up some unhealthy habits just for 10 days. So not forever, but just for 10 days, to really give our bodies a kickstart into a new healthy way of eating. And the person who invited you onto this call can share more about our Shred group. We love our Shred groups. We run them every single month. We support people. We have incredible resources. We're not asking you to give up stuff forever, just for 10 days. But it's really amazing what we have found with people who take this kickstart kind of challenge, and how healthy they feel at the end of the 10 days. They actually want to keep going, and you can, because it's completely healthy and safe. It's not a diet at all. Our Tower Gardens are an incredible, simple way to grow good health. This is our beautiful unit that you can have in your backyard and your patio. Lots of people even have them indoors throughout the winter. It saves 90% less space because it grows upright. You use 90% less water because the water is recycled down in this little tank here. It's on a timer. So those of us that have the worst thumbs like me can grow because it's on a timer. And you can grow so much more because you get 20 of these little containers. There's no soil, there's no digging, there's no weeding. There's a lot less bugs, I can promise. I absolutely love our Tower Garden. I go out and I pick from it every single day. It has saved our family so much money in fresh produce. And I love knowing where my produce is grown. And I live in California, and let me tell you, we don't have any water. Even though we're technically out of the drought for now, we're still in a drought and we have no land, and our soil isn't very good. So this has just been an incredible solution. So we are part of a healthy living community. We love to offer people free solutions. The person who invited you to our webinar tonight can share with you. We have cookbooks, we have kids support programs, we have fitness programs, we have healthy Facebook groups, healthy groups in our Facebook communities where we support you and we post encouraging things and we share really great tips on healthy living. We would love for you to join our Facebook groups if that's something that you'd like to do. And I invite you to keep learning. So if you are in the Southern California area, or if you have friends who are, we have two really very special speakers, one of which is an educator in the Bronx who has absolutely changed the face of education and growing. You can Google the Green Bronx Machine. Stephen Ritz is such a special man. I'm absolutely obsessed with him. He has done so much to change his community in the Bronx, which was a absolute desolate place, and they're growing things, and he's encouraging kids. Such a special person. And Dr. Mitra Ray, who is a research biochemist who's absolutely brilliant when it comes to the relationship between nutrition and disease. She has multiple grants. She's an author, and she's going to inspire us with her talk about healthy living. So if you have anyone in this area, you can get with the person who invited you. We would love to have you join us. These kinds of education have changed my family's life. And when I started learning about Juice Plus and this mission, I got so excited and I wanted to share it. So we really just want to thank you tonight. I wanted to keep this right to 30 minutes. And we invite you to do a couple of things, and then I'll let you guys ask a few questions if you have questions. We invite you to just, think about it, and you don't have to do anything. We're just so grateful that you came and you got the education, and hopefully you can go on our websites and do some more research and make an educated decision for yourself. I always want everyone to take the time to make a good educated decision so that you're as excited as we are. We invite you to join us on the Juice Plus Healthy Journey and get started. And we will be so excited for you because I know it's one of the best decisions you'll ever make. It was for my family. And we also realize that some of you on this call may be thinking of friends and family and people that really need to hear this mission or this message. And this is a mission for me. And 15 years ago, I completely changed careers. I wanted to do something that mattered. I wanted to have more flexibility over my calendar and my time. And I wanted to have a career where I could balance being a great mom and share something and build a great income. And we invite you, if that's something that you might be open to learning more about, to have a conversation with the person who invited you, because we really need more people on this mission with us. And I want more people to feel empowered with a business model like the one that we have. So we would love to share with you a little bit more about that, if that's something that you want to learn more about. So with that, if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to take yourself off mute. There's an unmute button on the top right-hand corner of your screen. And I see a couple of friends here on, and I just want to thank you guys for coming. I'm so excited that you came and joined us tonight. Does anybody have any questions? As I drink my water.
Thanks for getting on, Lee. It's good to see you.
It's so good to see you guys. I'm so glad you guys had friends here. We love it when friends join us.
Thank you for coming on, Karin. And toast to anybody who has their wine or their drink or their water. I have water tonight, but
we called it wine and wellness, but we're all drinking wine. We're all drinking water. Well, thank you guys so much for coming.